You. Happy Monday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right now, I'm about to go live on Clubhouse. Click the link if you haven't already. I am Stars Tina, and I'm pausing right now as she gets together. Today, I'm going to be talking about mindset. It is Monday, and I want to give you all the motivation today. And for me, it begins through mindset. All right. Do you think you have a positive mindset? Do you think you stay focused all the time on the things that you want? Well, all righty. Hey, so guys, we are currently live. I'm feeling super charged. First of all, I want to give a big up to my Clubhouse family. I love Clubhouse. They're kind of tied with Instagram. I used to really love Instagram a lot, but now it's all about the Clubhouse life. But if you're watching me on Instagram, hello, I'm Grand Rising. If you're watching me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, that's what I want you guys to do. Hey there, Chris. Today, guys, I want to talk about mindset, because it is scary. I wish I would have known everything I'm about to talk about today 10 years ago, 20 years ago, heck, 30 years ago. Can you believe? Whew, my daughter's going to be 30 this year. So if I would have known all the stuff I know now back then, my life is still amazing now. But anyway, I'm not going to digress to that because everything happens for a reason, right? I love seeing your face too, Chris. So guys, really quick, I want to share a story. Those of you that don't know, I am Stars Tina. You're probably like, why did you put stars there? Well, I used to run a modeling and talent company, and I worked with children, and I personally believe that everybody has a gift. Man, woman, child. God has created a special. We have a special gift. And with the children and with adults, my goal is to find out what your gift is and to pull it out of you if you may not know. So that's where the stars come from. And I like the Z because it's fancy. And I always say, reach for the moon. I'm sure you guys have heard this before. And if you fall, you're still amongst the stars. And anything that you want in life, you can get it if you have a strong mindset. I don't care what it is. My story in a nutshell, the big part of my story that most people resonate with me is my son being murdered 6 years ago. And that's like the booyah one that's in your face. But I realized today for fitness, the reason why I love fitness and being a fitness professional, I may have mentioned this earlier in the Clubhouse streets, because my father died at 49 years old. And thinking about that, I was just like, wow, if I would have told him all the things I know now, he'd probably still be alive. So for all the women out there, all the men who want a change of life, that is why I do this. Fitness is my passion, guys. And I've had many traumas, many tragedies in my life. And I realized by having a positive mindset all the time, I have to say all the time, that's what's gotten me through. I've had my ups, I've had my downs. And as I'm looking here, I just want to welcome Haz to the stage. I'm on my glasses. Hey, Judith. Hey. Judith up on the stage. I see Carol. I kind of got off track because I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you guys. Why am I nervous? Because I truly care about this next topic that I'm going to talk about. And pretty much my platform is turn your trauma or your tragedy into a triumph. And that's what I've done, all the tragedies in my life. And the topic we're talking about today is the fable of the frog and the scorpion. And I was writing my signature talk last night, and I was just Googling different things. And I'm like, I want to resonate with something. And when you have a trauma or a tragedy in your life, there's 4 ways of how you can overcome a tragedy. And a tragedy, I'm sorry guys, I'm looking at this camera and I'm like, I should have put some makeup on. My face is looking a little funky. Let me bring it down. All right, that's why it's good to be on the audio app. No one can see you. So yes, if you have a trauma or a tragedy, it can be as big, it can be as small as losing your job. But for some people, losing your job is traumatic. I knew someone who lost their job and they nearly had a breakdown because that's all they had in their life was that job. They went into that job, they were number one, everyone loved them, it was their life. And then when they lost that job, they crumbled. Now your trauma or tragedy could be like that, or it could be as major as my tragedy of my son, 21 years old, being murdered at the height of his career, or maybe my father dying in his sleep at 49. These are major things that happen in life, guys. It could be your, no matter what it is, but there's 4 ways, and if you want to write these down, write them down. 4 ways of how you can resolve a trauma or a tragedy. Are you ready for it? Number 1, you can avoid it. And write down and tell me, do you think that's a good thing to avoid the trauma, to avoid the situation? to pretend like it didn't happen. That's the first thing you can do. I would not suggest you do that. Maybe you do it a little bit. The second way you can do it is you can get broken, you can stay broken, you can stay in that dark place. I don't know about you, but the dark isn't always good. Sometimes good, all right? But it's not a place to be broken, to be hurt, to be sad, to be, so that's the second way of how you can resolve a trauma or tragedy. That's another one. I would not suggest that one as well. And the third thing you can do is you can just attack it and just let it attack your body, and you turn into this evil, mean person that's just angry all the time, and you just lash out at people because of what's happened to you. You just put it out to other people. That's the third way of how you can resolve a trauma or a tragedy. And again, I would not suggest that because that's not a cool thing. Third thing I would suggest is becoming a champion, becoming a star, taking the champion approach. And what is that, guys? By making a decision that you will conquer, you will win, making a plan. And you have to dig super deep into your heart, guys. You have to figure out why. And for me, my father, I believe God sets us up for success. And everything was planned. Before God gave me different, when my father died, I ended up in a mental hospital for 8 weeks, guys. I didn't really handle it too well. Now, for my son, I knew, Tina, you got to get your shit together or you're going to end up in a crazy hospital again. When it was actually, I saw my daughter going through a little situation. It was too good. She was good. This is the night that it happened. I made a decision that night. I was like, okay, Tina, get your shit together. I'm still crying, but these are the thoughts going on in my head. Now, mind you guys, this is where it comes to making choices and being freaking responsible. That's why I'm that no excuse person. It was a Friday night. And that Saturday morning, I had to teach at New York Sports Club. And one of the things on my mind was, Tina, you have to find a sub for your class. Because I had about 20 or 30 people that would come to this Saturday class. It was amazing. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to not be there for these people. Not show up for these people. So I found a sub. Of course, I did not teach the class. But I was still thinking, okay, responsible. So I got a sub. And that night, I made the decision to take control of my life, to take control of my mind. And yes, it was horrible. It was horrible. But then I started thinking, making a plan. Okay, Tina, what are you going to do? So today, the story of the scorpion and the frog calls to the whole mind sort of thing. That night, I made a decision that I was not going to be broken. I'm not going to stay broken. And what inspired me to do that, sorry guys, I'm trying to find the best spot for my lights. And if I sit back, it doesn't look that crazy. So that night, the decision I made, the mindset that I made is, what would my son want me to do? And my daughter kind of helped me realize that. She says, Mom, do you really think he would want you to lay in bed and be sad? Do you really think he'd want you to just eat and get back to being fat again? Because my children and I, we were the Three Musketeers, and when I was on my fitness journey, they would call me Piggy, not Piggy, Piggy. If you ever saw that little YouTube video, it was a little boy and he's screaming. He's like, I got something he said. He's like, hey, playing with you, Piggy. So they would always call me Piggy. So in my mind, I'm like, I have to make my son proud. I cannot be broken all these ways. So I decided to make the mindset there. So with this story, guys, the scorpion and the frog. And I'd love to hear if you heard this story before. I'm going to type it in somewhere. If you're on YouTube, I would love to see. If you're on Facebook, if you ever heard the story before. The frog and the scorpion. Now, my sign is a Scorpio. Whoop. If you're a Scorpio, let me see you. Make some noise if you're a Scorpio. Write it up in the chat. I think it's the best sign. And I was looking up the qualities and the traits, and I was like, ooh, it was kind of scary. But anyway, back to the story, guys. So one day, there was this scorpion, all right? And the scorpion was in a hole, let's just say like a dirt in a wall. And it's dark in there, and they wanted to come out for some sunlight. So the scorpion comes out, and then he sees some water. And let's just say there's a rock, and the scorpion's on the rock, and then there's a lake, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to see there. And the scorpion get on the other side, wants to go over the water, but the scorpion can't swim. And it's just like, I really want to get over there. And then he sees a frog. The frog comes up with this little, I can't even make the frog play. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. He starts talking to the frog. And he's like, okay, let me get this frog to get me to the other side of the pond. And he tells the frog, can you get me there? And he finally convinces the frog to get him across the pond. And the frog's like, no, I can't do that. You're a scorpion, you're gonna kill me, and then I'm gonna die. And the scorpion looks at him and he says, what sense does that make? Come on now. Why would I do that? If I sting you, we're both going to die. And the frog's sitting there, so innocent. And sometimes we do this in life, right? We listen to people. We believe people that they truly want to help us. But honestly, they don't really want to help us. I'm sorry, I'm digressing to another story. So the frog says to the scorpion, yes, I'll take you across the water. So the scorpion hops on, and the scorpion's kind of scared, so he holds on really, really tight. And then the frog starts going, ribbit, or whatever he does, however he gets across, if he goes across a lily pad, whatever. He starts going across the pond, and it's looking good. It's going good. And then halfway through, the scorpion's on there. And he starts feeling this tingling sensation in its tail, because her tail is back there. It's like, tingle, tingle, tingle. And, his by nature, what is the nature of a scorpion? To sting, right? So what does he do? Bling! He stings the frog. And then the frog starts to feel tightness and, whatever it's feeling. And then it starts dying and starts falling into the water and says to the scorpion, well, why did you do that? Now we're both going to die. And then the scorpion says, that's my nature. And then they both die. So when I first heard this story, I've heard it many times, but yesterday I really dug deep into it. And I was just like, okay, nature. So does that mean we can't change and we're stuck with who we are? And then I'm thinking about nurture and nature, nature, where you live, what your surroundings are. Does that make who you are? Or nurture, what your parents, teach you and what you've been taught, the difference in that. And then as I really dug into the story even more, you have two types of people. You have those scorpions out there. And the scorpions, pretty much, you may know what your nature is. You may know what your foundation is. Yes, that is your nature. But you are in control of your actions. And Maurice and Kim and a few mentioned as well how important it is to realize, yes, you may by nature be mean. You may by nature be happy. And I love the fact that Trisha said this because she made me think about it. Because I was in a relationship years ago. I cannot change for me. And I say it to today. And now I'm so empowered by hearing you say that, Trisha. Thank you. Because I really thought there was something wrong with me. I am so kind and I am so nice. I'm like giving till I physically, mentally sometimes hurt myself, I was in a relationship and I was helping other people. And he said to me, well, Tina, you care about them more than you care about me. And I was like, no, it's just I'm giving all the time. And as she said, Trisha had said, you can still be good at nature, but I have to control my actions. I have to realize that there is a time and a place for everything and control that. So if you're a Scorpion and by nature, you're naturally fast-paced, angry, whatever it is, realize you can control that. You can change it. What were we talking about earlier? Mindset. We can go down a whole nother rabbit hole of how to control your mindset, from creating boundaries, the tribe, journaling, yoga, meditation. That's a whole nother day for Lord Jesus. Help me out, someone I got a freeze. What did I just say? Controlling. Really, guys? No one's paying attention to me? No. Okay, maybe you guys aren't paying attention. Going back to what I was saying the mindset, all right? Controlling your mindset. Someone said something? I guess not. Yes, so that was a story with the Scorpion side. So if you are a Scorpion, realize you can change who you are, what you do. And then you have those other type of people. You have those frogs. Frogs are pretty cool. I think I can definitely be a frog a lot of the times. I'm a Scorpion, but sometimes in life I'm also that frog. I'm super trusting. I'm super giving, where something could blatantly be in my face. It's there. And I don't expect, no, that person's not like that. No. And I give second chances and third chances. So for that frog mentality out there, realize you got to trust your gut feeling sometimes and just kind of believe what you believe in. That is my little spiel right there on your mindset and, turning your traumas or your tragedies into triumph. I would love to hear if anyone has anything to say. Just kind of unmic and go for it. I'd love to hear from you. If you have a share, go for it. Yes.
It's Chris. I've never heard that story. I did say I was a Scorpio because I am born of that astrological sign. I can talk. But I think I'm more of a frog by nature. But I do love the story. It kind of surprised me how it turned out. I do believe the biggest way to change your mindset is to step back, like I said before, and learn how to respond to things instead of reacting to things. And that might be my nature, that I am quick to react. And I've slowed myself down and decided to by slowing myself down, it might only take 30 seconds to change my mindset to responding mode from reacting mode. So that's one thing I've learned about myself, is it's just much more important to evaluate the situation logically and respond instead of just flying off the handle and reacting. In fact, last night I reacted. I was out for a walk. We went down the street to my husband. I went down the street to see this beautiful sunset after the storm we had. And we're walking back, and we're walking in this beautiful street. It's like 2 blocks long, so it's blocked off on both sides. There's not many cars, and we looked behind us to see if any cars were coming. There weren't. We're walking down the street. All of a sudden, this bike whizzes right by me, and I reacted. I go, "Hey, I would have liked a little notice." And he goes, "Well, you're taking up the whole road." And I thought, that's my old self. That's my reactive self. And I was pissed at myself. So it comes back to me, and I do realize it happened. So that's how I want to share my share on mindset.
Loving it, Chris, girl. I think I'm going to make a special shout out. Guys, if you're a Scorpio, please hit me up, because I'm going to put a special board for Scorpios, because I'm so loving myself. Chris, respond instead of react. So me. I'm usually that attack. And I love how you said by nature, us Scorpions are certain ways, and we can control the outcome. So I love that. Anyone want to share? Judith, Mary Kim, Trisha, your thoughts on the topic. Are you a frog? Are you a Scorpion? Can you change? Just Mike.
Scorpio. So I'm truly a Scorpion. And a funny thing about, not a funny thing, but I was literally, when I look back at my childhood, I was definitely a Scorpio. Like a negative Scorpio, wanting to get attention, doing evil things. And evil things wasn't really, I did do some evil things to my sister. So we get dressed up every holiday. My dad was in church. Like, it was like this whole big production. We couldn't open gifts until we got dolled up and all this stuff. And so me, also I was a middle child, so I definitely had middle child syndrome, which I didn't know I had at that moment. I would push my sister into the pool while we're taking pictures. I would force her to ride a bicycle, and she fell. I would cut up pictures of our family album so I could create my own. Just stuff, not evil things, but I think I was all those things. When I look back and when I uncovered about middle child syndrome, and I was going through my own transformation, I'm like, now it makes all sense. Now it makes all makes sense. And so it's so interesting, because as I got older, I think it was sometime around 16 where I started to evolve, at that time, and just becoming teenage life, no braces, just trying to find myself. I was not that person. And as a college, I was not that person. But it's so interesting, because probably it was way after I graduated, I think probably in my 30s, my mom, it was my guardian mom, she asked me, she's like, you tortured me when you were younger. Why did you do that to me? Are you still that person? And I was like, what? I'm like, of course I'm not that person anymore. Don't you see me now? I'm not that person. She's like, well, why did you do that? I'm like, I have no idea. As a teenager, all the things that happened, I didn't know how to process all of this. So I say that because, yes, I was that Scorpio, but I'm not that mindset Scorpio now. Like, I'm not a jealous person. I'm not an evil person. I don't, function in that state. I also learned how to process feelings. I learned how to do that change. And I learned through that transformation that, the things that I want in life, I need to give out. And so that's why you see who I am today. You see me. But and so, yes, a Scorpio can change also. Because there are pluses to a Scorpio, but we're known for all these, like, negative stuff and the sting. And, my siblings still, like, joke around with me. Oh, that Scorpio sting you'll have. And I will be direct with you. I don't sugarcoat words, but I will come from a space of love, and I will be honest with you. Like, sometimes too honest. So I'm trying to lean back a little on that, but yeah, that's my take.
I love it, Mary Kim. I'm loving this room. I wish we need some numerology or horoscope. I don't know if we want to know one of these because I'm loving the topic and just knowing yourself. And wow, why? I wish I would have known all this stuff when I was younger because, like you said, Mary Kim, just knowing that, okay, I am a Scorpion, okay, in my body and my nature is like this, but I can control my controllables. I can respond instead of react and all those other wonderful things. As we're sharing, Renee, can you give us a quick reset? Go ahead, Renee. If you're watching us here, we are on Clubhouse, guys. And if you're not on Clubhouse, I invite you to come in because it's an amazing place. Not only just my room, we're here Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11, giving you all the motivation, all the inspiration to get inspired for your goals, your dreams. And then we give you the tools, the skills, and the strategies for mindset, money, nutrition, finances, sensuality, you name it, we give it to you here on Clubhouse. And every Monday, I'll go live here to share that with you. Now, some shares in the hallway. We have some shares in the room. We're sharing now. So if you're watching this on Clubhouse, on Facebook or Instagram, just ping, 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 ping. Why? Because we want to share with the world. We want to make everyone happy, and it looks like we're going back soon.
Other social media apps as well. It's the second icon from the
Over doing a pretty good job. So guys, we're looking pretty good today. It looks like we have about 57 people in the room. Yes. And I'm on YouTube. Are you watching on YouTube? Thank you for the hearts. I love it, love it. Today we're talking about mindset, how you can control anything in your life. That scorpion frog fable, if you've never heard it, I spoke about it earlier. You can rewind or you can watch it later. And it just goes to say you can change anything. She's going pretty long with this resets. All right, Renee.
That you would find useful for yourself as well. And with that, I would like to see 5 more shares at least before Tina
She's doing it. She's doing it.
You can continue to share.
Okay, guys, she's doing better, but we're not going forward. I need 5 more shares in the hallway, please. There's 27 of us in here. If we all have to share the room again, that's great. If you're watching me on the screen, you're like, what is she talking about? That means you're going to get on your phone. You're going to ping, ping, ping people on Instagram right there. You're going to share it up. Why? Because we're giving you all the motivation and the inspiration. God is coming through me right now, guys. Before I do anything, before I teach a class, before I speak, I always do a little tiny, very quick prayer. Just God, pour into me so that I can change the world, change lives. We're at 24 shares. Yes, we need 1 more to keep going. How can I see you on YouTube? You can see me on YouTube by going to my YouTube channel, which is Stars Tina. The Elite Stars Experience. That's what it is. Yes, that's what it is. Stars Tina, stars with a Z. So guys, follow me, subscribe on YouTube because my goal is to just do the gift that God has given me. So, anyone else want to share on the topic? Mel, are you able to speak? I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas on the topic. If so, on Mike, are you a Scorpio? Are you a frog? Maybe she can share. Maybe she can't. Judith, are you able to speak? I would love to hear from you, Judith. They're kind of quiet in these Clubhouse streets, guys. I don't know what's going on over here, but that's okay. That's okay. If anyone else wants to share on the topic, you can go ahead and share. If not, I will continue to talk because we do know it's Monday, right? I heard a mic. Did I hear a mic?
Yes, hi, Startina. It's Hayes down below.
Hi, I just followed you, Hayes. Beautiful. Ooh, look at that photo. See, guys, the cool thing about Clubhouse is you see the person, you scroll, and you can go to their Instagram. Hayes, what do you think about the topic? Would love to hear from you.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Hi,
I just wanted to
Jennifer.
respond to your comments on the story of the Scorpio frog. To give me compliments, and two, I'm also a Scorpio. But I just wanted to say, I always looked at that story as like a parable regarding self-sabotage. Scorpios have a tendency to do that, but I always looked at it as a story of self-sabotage on both sides, both for the frog and the Scorpio, because, you know, as Dr. Maya Angelou used to say, when people show you who they are, you must believe them. And, you know, the frog had the knowledge that the Scorpio has this, or Scorpion has this behavior. And for the Scorpion, you know, you could have gotten across the water had you just let go of those negative old behaviors that actually take you under. So I look at it as a way for all of us to look at that story and try not to be either one. Because what we need to do is observe. You know, we don't have to judge, but we can notice what we notice, and we can make healthy decisions based off of that. And then also on the self-sabotage side, you know, maybe you're used to doing something for protection or for fun, but that behavior is taking you under. It's causing you to literally sink in life. So look at the Scorpion and say, hey, you know, I can still be a cool Scorpio, but I don't have to do things that could take myself and other people under. So I just wanted to offer that, and thank you. I'm finished speaking.
Girl, only because you're a Scorpio, but I had to take notes on this one, guys. So I loved how you said, don't be either one of them or be both of them. No sound on Clubhouse. Well, can you guys hear me on Clubhouse? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, Maurice said he didn't hear any sound on Clubhouse. So I loved how you said, now I don't want to say your words wrong, Hayes. Did you say to be a little of both of them or be none of them? Can you clarify that again, please?
Neither. I said to be neither.
Explain that, because I was thinking being a little bit of both of them.
Because both of them are just unhealthy. So it seems like the frog has boundary issues. You know, someone tells you, hey, it's very likely that I'm going to do this thing to you. And I guess if I think about it from a human perspective, maybe someone that's dealing with like codependency might feel like, oh, I can change this person. Oh, this frog, I mean, this Scorpion's not going to sting me. I'm going to save him. But it's like, they can't do a list of all the things that, you know, aren't that great. So it's on you to kind of decide. And then the Scorpion, you don't want to be the Scorpion either, because that self-sabotaging behavior, it just doesn't help anyone. Like, as you stated, both of them were taken under. So I thought it terrible to be either, and to just, you know, get your antennas up and use your thinking caps a little more.
Really quick, self-sabotage. Pour into that word for me right now, because I have other stuff for you.
Could you explain what you mean? Like, elaborate.
So when you're saying self-sabotage, if you can give an example, because I'm just like, I get it, but I don't get it when you're saying, because this is where I'm coming from for that. So you're saying be neither of them. And for me, as I look at it, thinking I want to be a little both, because sometimes you got to be a little spicy. Sometimes you have to be a little, I don't want to say evil, but firm. And then sometimes you have to lay back some. What do you think?
Absolutely. I agree with you that we do need to have sugar and spice. I do, well, but I just think with regard to the characters in the story, neither of them were characters that I would want to be like, I guess that's my response.
Got it. I wish Reese was up because I would love to hear his part on it, but I know he's like kind of busy now. Did we get that? Yes, we did get that reset. We're at 28 shares. Loving it. If you are on Instagram or if you are in a LinkedIn or whatever, if you have a question, type it in. If you have a comment, write it in. Otherwise, I would love to hear from someone else who wants to share about the topic that we're talking about today. Oh, one more thing I wanted to ask before we go to another person. You were saying, Hayes, stubborn. Do you find that, or maybe for my Scorpions, You think that you're stubborn, and have you totally gotten out of it? Because for me, for some reason, it's very challenging for me to get unstubborn. It's like, I know that I should not be doing something, but just the stubborn side of me pushes through. Can anyone relate or help me out?
Not that I'm not open-minded, but some people may differ. I am definitely stubborn because if I believe in something and I'm adamant on something, like I'm just really stubborn about my thoughts or what I believe in. Not because I'm a Scorpio, but also like I stew over things. Like I analyze because I do that. Like I hope, like I feel like I've done my research to be not that
I think we lost her. I'm not sure if we lost her. I got the red bar, but loving your shares there. So guys, I'm gonna get off of Instagram and LinkedIn. That was the foundation of our topic. If you guys wanna continue, you can come back in the Clubhouse streets because I'm ready to get a little more intimate. So bye on Instagram. I'm Xing out there. Bye. We're here. Ciao, ciao. On LinkedIn, on Facebook.